All right, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Hawakapidash. I want to give double honors to our apostles and elders up in Great Millstone who ruled well and taught us this truth. And a sincere peace and salutations to all the Akim pushing this word in truth and in all sincerity. This is Brother Galan from the DC Church coming back at you with a quick video. And Lord's will, it's going to be quick. I'm just responding to, the agent up there, and I believe it's Columbus, Ohio. Apostle Tahar put it on his page, basically saying that he was a white, black Hebrew Israelite. He was a white, black Hebrew Israelite. Basically just saying how, he was out there preaching, but he didn't believe in the doctrine. But the guys that he was preaching with was his friends, so he kept doing it, whatever, The fact that he said he's a white, black Hebrew Israelite, and he was a part of Great Millstone, the one thing that anyone in Great Millstone know, according to our doctrine, is we're not black. We don't subscribe to being black. The fact that he's in the camp, how would we the black Hebrew Israelites if he was in the camp? But nonetheless, it's no surprise. It's no surprise. I got this in St. John 15 and 18. It says, if the world hated you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. If ye were of the world will love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hated you. And it's in all angles in the world of Israel. The world of Jake that know they're Israelites, the world that we live in. Obviously, you got a whole fucking page with vocab and whatever platform that was. It's the second time I seen him breaking down the Israelite community, and he loved to basically paint Great Millstone as the most radical, whatever. And even ChatGPT, they say the same shit about it. So, this is expected, and this would be further confirmation for the brothers that's in this truth, that's in the body, and that believe, that believe in the correct doctrine, which is taught by the apostles and elders up in Great Millstone. So it says, if the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. If you were of the world will love his own. Right. If we were of this world, we would get the backing like Sakari get. We would get the backing that IUIC get. You would get the backing of HOI. You would get the backing of these other communities where you see, they're able to, get together and do these things because their doctrine is not according to the scriptures. And we can back up, and I will get a few scriptures to back up why the world, we're not of this world, because we follow the things that the scriptures say. It says, if you were of the world will love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. Because if you truly amongst the apostles, you truly amongst the bishops, the things that the world say about them are completely untrue. These are humble men. These are loyal men. These are studious men. These are very careful men. They make sure they research before they speak. They make sure they know exactly what they're talking about before they speak. They're very charitable. They're not doing this for filthy lucre's sake. And I've been amongst the body for 10 years. And though that's a short time compared to majority of our leaders, it's enough time to be able to sit back and observe who's who in Jake's spirit, the spirit of your leaders. It says, remember the word that I say unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. And that's going to be the video title, Lord's will. The servant is not greater than his Lord. It says, if they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my sayings, they will also keep yours. Shalaki, they will keep yours also. Just as Yahushua was persecuted, and Pilate, the judge at the time, said he found no fault in Yahushua. You know? He found no fault in Yahushua, but still he was persecuted. Still he experienced the worst recorded death. And still to this day, you see slander, people talking shit about Apostle Tahar. Whereas though, if you being real, if you sitting back and just being real and looking at the man's works, what can you really say about him? Other than that he believe in his Lord. He believe in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. But he's painted out to be a wicked man to this world. And that's no surprise. That's why the scriptures say in John 15:20, remember the word that I say unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. You know? Salakia. The servant is not greater than his Lord. You know? So that's why, I was just listening to the elder Ariala, touching on the topic. It says, if thou wouldest get a friend, Sirach 6 and 7, if thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first and be not hasty to credit him. Because there's a lot of vultures in this world that's looking to come and sow discord amongst the brethren. They looking to get amongst the brethren to see what they can say, see what they can do to destroy the body. But as the scriptures say, there's nothing you can do against the truth but for the truth, roughly paraphrasing, in the book of Romans. If this thing be of men, then it can't stand. But this is of the Most High. So this is going to stand forever. All we have to do is go according to the scriptures. And that's why it says, if thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first and be not hasty to credit him. It was years ago when the order came down from the apostles, no more new members of Great Millstone. And it was for this very reason, agent activity. To say you're a white, black Hebrew Israelite, knowing that we don't subscribe to being called black Hebrew Israelites, and then you're saying you're white. But you was out there preaching for 9 years saying something completely different. The scriptures say in Sirach 2, and 12, it says, woe be to the fearful hearts and the faint hands in the center that goeth two ways, man. Destruction. So the Lord is going to destroy that individual, man. And this individual is showing himself to be what he is, man. An agent. A sinner that goeth two ways. You sat back and basically admitted that you sat back and admitted that you were a hypocrite, man. That you was not truly, you was just out there regurgitating the things that was said by our leaders, but you didn't believe it. But you stood out there as the leader and preached these things that you didn't believe in yourself. The Lord is going to destroy a dude like that, But that's all in the name of trying to destroy Great Millstone. Which, so what? Do what the fuck you want to do. Do what you got to do, Esau. You bringing all these agents amongst Great Millstone trying to defame the name. They calling us rapists. They calling us all these things. But it ain't going to do anything. It says in Isaiah 59 and 18, 59 and 19, it says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against them. So soon as y'all decide to actually roll on the men that believe in the doctrine, starting with the apostles and elders up in Great Millstone, then the Lord is going to lift up the standard against them. So none of these things should be a surprise to any of us. Oh, you got Jake lying on Great Millstone. You got Jake saying this is why they left. Whatever, man. None of this shit matters, man. None of this shit matters, man. You can be an agent and successfully infiltrate a camp. Stay on the outside for as long as you year or 2 years or whatever, that ain't, you may get into the church, but you ain't gonna do anything. You're not gonna succeed at anything because brothers ain't wicked over here. Brothers is following the scriptures to the best of their ability, And yeah, you'll have some bad eggs, but who don't? That's why the scriptures say, if thou wouldest get a friend, be not hasty to credit him. And Great Millstone is known for that, man. Great Millstone is known for that, man. On Wednesday we walked past the Purple Gang, the IUIC, and they looking for members crazily, man. It's always a new Jake within their camp, and we've been camping around the same spot for some time now, and they always got new members there because new members bring more money, and that's not what this is about here. And I'm qualified to speak on that. That's not what this is about over here in Great Millstone. When brothers is in need, brothers got a situation going on, regions come together, you band together, we help brothers out, but nobody's over here looking to sell their soul for no damn money, man. You think our apostles ain't get offered money to do some debates or some shit? Like, come on, man. But it is what it is, man. The servant is not greater than his master. And as they persecuted Yahushua, we shall be persecuted too. So this is no surprise. Esau, we can see that you're collecting your data. You're doing what you have an agenda. You have an agenda, and you got these jakes that are trying to come amongst us to fulfill your agenda, but it's going to come to naught. We will prevail. Last scripture. Isaiah 54:17, no weapon that formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and the righteousness is of me, saith the Lord. So that's it, man. We are in beautiful times. Brothers that truly believe, all we have to do is maintain our integrity, and we shall live forever in joyfulness, man. Not being ashamed of the decisions that we made, when the heat came on, but maintaining our integrity and being proud of the decisions that we made, But that's it, man. With that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Baruch. Double honors to our apostles and elders of the Great Millstone who ruled well and taught us this truth. And shalom to the elect.